Hello again everybody, welcome back to the channel. I hope you're well. It's been just over a week, so lots going on in the VATSIM space. FS Expo last weekend as well, which I missed. Hopefully you guys are all hyped about all the announcements that were made. Caught up with some of them actually, and some of them are pretty good. We'll chat about those throughout the journey. Today we start in Bangkok in Thailand. We're off to Paro, one of the most tricky approaches in the world. And we're going to be landing on runway 15, which offers a slightly more complicated arrival than the usual northerly runway. Welcome to Badger, Zato, Joe, good to see you, welcome. MPS Gaming, good afternoon. Stockholm Plane Spotting, hello to you. Chris, welcome. Zato's tried to load in the Vulcan, but it for some reason just will not load with AI model matching. So we tried our hardest, but it just doesn't seem to work at the moment. But it's going to be a good one today. We're in the Fenix A319 in this Royal Bhutan Airlines Druk livery. Flight time about 2.5 hours, and we're going to see what we can pull off when we arrive. So, if you are new to the channel, as always, hit like, hit subscribe, join us in the live chat. Seemingly some new things. I don't know if you guys can see it in the chat, but there's some new number 1, number 2, number 3 rankings and all sorts of stuff in the chat. I don't know why. YouTube's doing a lot of new things lately without telling any creators what the changes are. So I hope you're all well, and we'll get straight into it. We're on VATSIM, as always. Welcome, David. Good afternoon. Zato. 32 months, crikey. Now in the 727. Nice one. Just as fun. You could have your work cut out for you. And David's been with us for 50 months as a channel member. My God. Welcome, welcome. We've got Elevatex fired up for the journey, tracking the flight on this awesome little app, and we'll take a little look through that throughout the journey. And if we just have a little look at the charts for today, we're here stand 501, we're going to push start probably facing south, Tango 17 out through 15, expecting taxi a Delta to hold Echo 2, runway 20 left, but the ATIS is a bit weird. It says runway 21 is in use at the moment, but I can't see a runway 21 here at Bangkok, and no charts that I have seem to show runway 21. And we've configured for the Tareg 1 Golf departure, so initially flying south 195 degrees towards the coast, then working west up to Gugot, heading towards Don Muang International VTBS, and then routing off towards Paro. And tweak the route a little bit. We're replicating the precise routing of the flight the other day. We've got a bit of rain and some pretty naff weather at the moment in Paro as well. 8,000 meters visibility on arrival, according to the current METAR, which is just there. So there's a lot going on, really. Who knows? Yeah, it's a different airport code, isn't it? Yeah. Good spot. So we'll see what we've got. APU's available. We've already done the loading and everything. Everybody knows how to fly the Fenix A319 now, don't we? The baby bus. And it's been the first time back in this for a little while. I've opted not to bother with GSX people because I've loaded this livery and I forgot to update the you know, the passenger seating configuration thing inside the GSX installer. Every time you add a new livery or remove a livery, you have to refresh that and resync it. It's the pain in the ass, so I can't be bothered. So we're going without people, even though we've obviously got people for the load sheet on board. We've done our fueling and all that. Commentator, good afternoon. Yes, and the many people screaming, John, welcome. Right, what frequencies do we have? 121.75. 128, 700. Ta-da! We'll get our clearance. We'll push it about 8 minutes, 7 minutes from now. Now we have an ATIS. So runway 20 left, all departing 19 aircraft. After airborne, all departing aircraft shall contact centre 11901. Center. Winds 300 at 7, visibility 10 kilometers, cloud few, 2000, temperatures 31 degrees Celsius. Wow. UNH1004. Info Alpha. I've got my Winwing FCU fired up today, and the EFIS, so we get the MCDU down there. Nothing connected to that, but we've got the mini. Well, you've got the Winwing FCU and the Winwing EFIS working today with all this jazzy bit at the top on the dash. Rob, welcome. Mikhail, good to see you. Hope you're well. I passed my course with flying colours, thankfully. But I've got a year of kind of continued accreditation training and things like that to sort out. Ashton, good morning. Right, let's get our clearance if we get a gap, which I think we have now. That'll be delivery. Good afternoon, good evening. Royal Bhutan 153, stand 501 with Alpha QNH 1004 as an Airbus A319. Request clearance to Paro, please. Jeez, number 8. Crikey! I think we're going to be late off stand. We got Siam flights while we wait. Siam flights at Savannah International Airport. It is awesome. It's really nice. Look at that. Brian, welcome, buddy. 48 months. Goodness me. Look at this weather. It's going to be interesting to see what it's like at Paro. There's Zato, shown as an A320 Neo at the moment. That is the best we can do for now.
And we're ready for push and start. Tie 210. Tie 217, thank you.
There's the A319. I can't remember, some of you might know, but I can't remember when we last flew the A319. Or a Fenix aeroplane, to be honest, actually, thinking about it now, and I think it's some time ago, to be fair. Look at that. Mighty. It's been a while since we've been in Thailand. On VATSIM. Big thank you to our air traffic controllers. Hopefully they're listening. They may or may not be. And we're still waiting for the big Fenix update, aren't we? To bring us juicy goodness in an update. Allegedly better flight dynamics, ground handling, flare law, all that blah. We'll see what happens when we get there.
I'm ready when you are.
Let's get the clang of the CFMs. Little ground pin, red light, parking brake active.
Alpha Via Supper 1 Juliet, River 19er, climbing 60,000, squawk 7164 for
oh, Zato. Nav lights looking good.
Ready for push and start.
Look at that.
121.75 for Cathay 354. Thanks for your help tonight.
They said that they'd fixed it on the certainly on the A321, for example. They said they'd improved it a lot. I really don't think they have. I think the flare law in the A321 is particularly nasty. In fact, it is flights into Paro that really push it a little bit. So those of you in the Discord server, I shared with you a link showing you the approach we're going to be doing today, but done in real life. And it effectively means we're going to configure for runway 33. I think it's 33. We're going to fly that RNAV approach through the valley, and then we're going to kind of zip off over the airfield, and then we're going to fly up into the valley to the north of the airfield before kind of doing like a big circle to the right, turning back towards the runway and landing, and you can see how dynamic and deliberate and aggressive the roll is from the captain flying the approach and that final moment, and it is really dramatic to watch. And I think I remember last time flying into Paro, it might have been the Fenix A320, when we touched down, that final very aggressive roll left, it seemed to break the kind of the physics on the Fenix A320, and it just got really messy. I think we like basically just slammed down on the ground, completely out of control. Whereas in the fly-by-wire A320X, when I tried it, it didn't do that. So we shall see what happens. That's all good, that's all good, that's all good. Seatbelt signs, no smoking. No white lights. Slam the door shut. Lock. That's all good, that's all separated. Wind shears, automatic, GCS, automatic, multi-scan, automatic, radars off. That's all good, that's all set. QNH 1004, constraint mode. We'll pop the VOR modes on, and we want initial climb 6,000. Set that on the MCP. Got FCU.
So one of Romeo delivery, Scandinavian 252 at down the Alpha 5, with IFR clearance to Phuket.
Scandinavian 252,
Number 8.
10,500 kilos. Fuel, we're going to a bit extra fuel, but it's because we effectively need it for diversion if we can't get in or we need to go around. With terrain as well, we'll burn a lot of fuel doing basically a toga. Birdman, yes, basically. Got a couple of custom views ready for today as well. So we get some good views of the mountains as we make our way in.
Clear to Paro via
Sato, yeah. Every time we've flown into Paro, it's been a good one to be fair, so hopefully you guys are looking forward to this. Next week we'll be doing Bogota in Colombia. Okay, we should have been pushing back to a minute ago, so we're very late already on New Sky. Not ideal. So weights wise, jeez, I thought we were next. We lost track. Well, we were 8th, weren't we? I can't remember how many of the clearance already. Cost index of 20, passenger counts 131, giving us an estimated zero fuel weight of 57.5 tonnes, 57,500 kilograms. Estimated takeoff weight 67,845 kilograms.
951, hello, can we confirm if the Bravo curious value is again?
And that should give us, when we get there, an estimated landing weight of 61,000 kilograms, 61 tonnes. Which is 1,500 kilos below maximum landing weight. What are you in now, Zato? Or are you just sticking with that 727? I think we're going to end up with a penalty for being late. While we wait, I'll show you guys the routing. So we're flying off this way, all the way up to Tared. From Tared, pop this on VFR. World map. Heading up through Myanmar into Bangladeshi airspace. Flying over Dhaka and then routing up past Rangpur as we work our way into Bhutan, like so. We're going to be basically Papa Romeo 1777. RNAV Yankee 15, but it's effectively going to be RNAV Yankee 33. From Papa Romeo 777. Working up through that gap in the valley, descending down, following that river. And then at Papa Romeo 708, autopilot off. I'll probably turn it off before that, to be fair. And then we'll be flying level for a bit. It says circling not authorised, but technically we're not doing a circling approach. What we're doing is we're going to route in here, over the airfield, in this valley like so. Like that. That's what we're going to be doing, which is an approach they do in real life. And it's very tough. 4 knot tailwind for departure now on 20 left. Good grief. Just want clearance. A lot of people seem to be having problems with the latest GSX. That's one thing I've not updated for today actually, so I'm about a week and a bit old. How you doing, Mikkel? Bloody hell, come on. Clever Trevor, welcome. Filled the hospital up, but no fatalities. Yeah, we're ready to copy Robert Time 153. Cleared to Paro, 20 left, Tared 1, Golf departure, initial climb 6,000 feet, so expect 360 for cruise, squawk 7111, Robert Time 153. And we're ready to go, we're ready to push. 12175, thanks ATC, have a good night. 12175. Joe so that's all good, that's all good, that's all good. GSX, let's rock and roll. Prepare for pushback and departure. Whoever that is, their radio is very loud.
Yes, Thai 454.
3454 copies.
It's the controller.
Ground,
So next we've got tower 1182.
Bravo, taxi runway 20 left.
Epsilon 115, taxi via Tango 15, hold short of
Tango 15, hold short echo for...
Those of you flying along, have you got that same like mega muffled loud controller?
7117, please.
Yeah, apologies, setting for 7117, I-45.
Departure checks completed.
Oh, Bangkok ground, this is Cathay 254 with you, ready for taxi runway 19er, information alpha on board.
Let's get the beacon on.
Cathay 254, roger, taxi Tango 8, hold short of
Tango 8, hold short golf for Cathay 254.
Sound ground, Tower 68, Sound Charlie 6, information Alpha Alex, push and start.
Back, Tower 454, A319, behind you is crossing left to right, when he has passed, push and start approved, face south, Tango 17.
I-452 after the A319, push back approved, facing south.
Tower 217, contact to Tower 118.2.
Tower 118 to Titan 17.
It's not a booby tower, ground, good evening, Royal Bhutan 153, stand 501 with clearance and information alpha, request push stop.
Hotel 7 Mike Alpha Vector to Tower 118.2.
He's very muffled, isn't he?
Bhutan 153 Tower, correction, ground, good evening, push and start approved, face south, Tango 17.
Push start approved south, Tango 17, Royal Bhutan 153. South is going to be nose right, tail left, left? Let's find out. Absolutely no idea. That's all clear, jolly good. Let's rock and roll. Meta. Left's clear, right's clear. Parking brake off. Let's go. Seat set. It is readability 2, isn't it? I've had to put my complete. I've had to put my entire headset on, like both ear cups, 'cause I can't bloody hear him.
Currently holding short golf. Did you want us to turn left on golf hold short Bravo for Cathay 254?
Cathay 254, you're going to Lima 19, so continue straight ahead, just on that taxiway you're on, and left on Hotel, and you can hold short of taxiway Bravo.
Mission mode starts, and we'll go for engine 1.
I'm really sorry about this. Can you text it? It's sounding very muffled on your end, please.
I sent him a text saying very muffled.
Tower 638, Sound Charlie 6, request start information Alpha.
Oh, left hotel, hold short Bravo for Cathay 254.
Tower 638,
That was worse.
request push and start.
Bring the noise. What we want.
Tower 638, roger, push and start approved, face south, Tango.
Push and start to face south, Tower 638.
Bhutan 115, contact Tower 118.2.
118.2.
Oh, I got a weird Fenix wing wiggle.
Taxi 21 requesting taxi.
Oh, if I'm here.
Those will be in drops.
Taxi
1 is good. That's 2 stars.
Right on golf, hold short echo, 581.
And we got 279 right on golf, hold short of X.
Right golf, hold short echo, Bangkok here 279.
Traffic 254 straight ahead now, and left Bravo, holding point Bravo 1, running 1.
Beep pop.
Straight ahead on golf, left on Bravo. Hold short Bravo 1 for
That's
Cathay
it, walk behind the
254.
jet engines.
Tow truck disconnected.
Good evening, Swan up from ground, Air Bhutan 747 on Bravo, request taxi to gate Echo 1.
7 747, copy, continue straight ahead, and hold short of...
It's such a great scene with the Siam flights, Bangkok. So 6,1004 speeds are set. We've got V speeds as follows. V1156, really? That's bloody high. Let me use the performance calculator in SimBrief. I hate the Fenix calculator, it's crap. Total flex, optimal settings, surface restrictions, and improved climb disable. Look at that, the difference is insane. Right. Okay, so V1133, look at the difference between that and Fenix calculator. 156 calculated by Fenix, 133 calculated by SimBrief. Rotate 133 calculated by SimBrief, rotate 156 calculated by Fenix. That's a ridiculous difference. V2 137, SimBrief 159, Fenix. Flex 56, SimBrief, Flex 61, Phoenix. That's stupid. There's too much difference there between those two. I trust the SimBrief more. Okay, ignition mode norm, ground spoilers, rudders 0, reset, transponder on now, mode Charlie, just because yeah. Flaps 1, plus F, quarter brake max, they're travelling. APU off, master switch off. Just going to do rudder first because I need that for steering, get rid of the sensitive controls in the sim. Always got to do a few wiggles of those. 1 up 0.3. Which is there, sets.
Cathay 254 ready for departure. We'll be holding short Bravo 1 at 19.
Left aileron.
638, turn left, golf, and hold short of track.
Right aileron. Can't hear the bloody thing. Elevators.
Apologies, unable to push back at Tango 9 or request to push back on Tango 8.
Take off config test while we wait. This guy's very busy.
254, contact Taiwan 18.2.
18.2 for Cathay 254. Thanks for all your help tonight.
Bangkok 279, right echo, holding point echo 1, runway 20.
Right echo, echo 120, left Bangkok 219.
279, give way to the A320 on Tango 15, coming from the west.
Give over to A320 on Tango 15, side to 1.
Have a good one, Trevor.
5455, number 1, right echo, holding point echo 1, runway 20.
Right on echo, holding point echo.
God, this guy's really hard to hear.
Left, 9454.
Bhutan 153, request taxi.
Bhutan 153, taxi Tango 15, hold short of echo.
Tango 15, hold short echo, Bhutan 153. Here comes the rain. Got a squirt of juice.
Tower on 118.2, I454.
It is, isn't it? Yes. Zato, I think I had something similar before, but... Oh look! In 2024, the Fenix windscreen wipers don't wipe rain away. A lot of ground resistance. I'm using almost 40% M1 just to roll 4 knots. Last message.
Right Tango 15, right echo, holding point echo 1, runway 20.
Tango 15, right echo, hold echo 1, 20 left, Bhutan 153.
Thai 68 because
He's very, I couldn't even hear him calling out then.
Taxi left,
Can you guys hear me okay over the top?
Lift 4 from 4 shots of Bravo, Thai 68.
Yeah, Zato, this is stuff I've got to sort out way before the stream though. I can't do it as we taxi out.
Dreamliner is crossing left to right behind you when we have passed push and
I've already said on the thing he's very muffled. Kind of given up telling him now.
Misunderstanding before, I was not really sure if that car behind you was going to pull forward.
I can't remember what I did. I think I had something similar before with the radio, Zato, where it didn't work, receive transmit, but I had to click something inside the aircraft to make it work. Left's clear, right's clear.
Taxi General, taxi Tango 4 and holding point Bravo 2, runway 19.
There's the METAR for us here. 300 at 11. All the 9s for visibility apparently. Don't quite think so.
Bhutan 747 left onto hotel and hold short of hotel 2.
Compound hotel, then hotel 2, 747.
Bhutan 153, contact tower 118, there's no 2. Enjoy. Bhutan 153.
Apologies, you're very muffled. Contact tower on 1182 for Bhutan 153. Thanks, have a good night.
Swanapur ground, Thai 205, good evening, standard Bravo 3.
19-1. (18-2). I think he's just resynced himself, so hopefully he's fixed his mic. Bravo Booby Tower, good evening. Bravo Town 153 is on Echo to hold Echo 1 in the queue.
Robotan. Correction, Robotan 153, Tower good evening, continue holding short runway 20 left at Echo 1 behind parking truck.
Okay.
Thai 454, surface wind 34 degree 5 knots, runway 20 left, tip for takeoff, airborne contact Bangkok approach 119.1, good night.
Yeah, that's smooth.
Clear for takeoff, runway 20 left, after airborne, contact 119.1, and 454. Good night.
Thai 221, behind Echo 1, runway 20 left. Company, Airbus 2320, line up the wake, runway 20 left, behind.
Runway 20 left behind, Thai 221.
Tower, Thai 20, and holding point Bravo 2 for runway 19.
Thai 20 surrounding tower, good evening. The Bravo 2 line up the wake.
See, in reality,
The Bravo 2 line, wait, runway 19 for Thai 20.
67,800.
Singapore 7090, welcome to Bangkok, take it Bravo 1 to right on to Bravo.
Not moving.
Singapore 709,
I've got
begin
the
on
M1
Bravo
to
1, turn right on to
24.
Bravo. Singapore 709.
Okay, there we go. 27. So we start to creep. Give it a bit more juice. I can turn this guy up now because I can actually hear him, and I can take one of my ear pads off my ears. No more rain. Let's get cabin secure. No, Flight Sim, welcome, mate. Are you already airborne? Yeah, he definitely did.
Singapore 709, contact Swanapum ground 121.75, good night.
T11.
121.75, thanks for service.
Nice. Hopefully that works.
20, surface wind 340 degrees 5 knots, runway 100, cleared for takeoff after airborne contact Bangkok approach 119.
So next week we're going to fly into Bogota, probably from maybe Mexico City. Check out a new version 2 from VPilot. I think who created Bogota version 1. We checked out a little while ago now. We'll check out the new version 2, which has enhanced sort of details, better msfs 2024 compatibility. We'll zip in there with 777-300ER as well, unless something else happens. There's a little wind check for the windsock. Predominantly a massive headwind. Although
surface wind 340 degrees 5 knots, runway 20 left, cleared for takeoff after airborne contact Bangkok approach.
Navigaph shows 4 knot tailwind.
Take off runway 20 left after departure, contact approach 119.1, flight 221, have a great day,
see you. Bangkok Air 279 behind the departing Thai, Thai Boeing 777.
So look at it, the weather in 2024 is just leaps and bounds ahead of msfs 2020 in real, like just general realism of the way it all looks.
Arabia 816, surface wind 340 degrees 5 knots, runway 19, clear to land.
Need to sort the LOD issue out though, that's crap. 2D square aeroplane. Crikey! That max max rate of climb straight away. Let's get it on because it's one less thing for me to worry about. Weather radar. Squirt juice to keep us rolling. Jay, good morning, mate. Because it's been a while since it's been in an A320, I keep thinking I've missed something. Even though the other day I was in the A321neo, still felt quite rusty then as well.
Thai 63 behind the arriving Arabian Airbus A310 line up weight.
Simon, yeah, pretty much. It's got glaring problems like with the LOD system, which is really quite bad. But allegedly they fixed that in Sim Update 3. We'll wait and see though.
Bangkok Air 279, surface wind 280 degrees 6 knots, runway 20 left, clear for takeoff, airborne contact Bangkok approach.
Set. That's all good. Lights and signs, V speeds are cross checked, going full length, trim set, that's all good. System weather radars, everything's on.
Bye-bye.
Transponders on, TCAS TARA. I've got takeoff memos, no blue. And all of a sudden, out of nowhere, we started creeping forwards, even though a moment ago we weren't.
Qantas 6042, Sonora Consal, good evening. Runway 19, continue approach, wind check 280 please.
Here's everyone waiting for Christopher, yes.
Arabia 816, ticket Bravo 10, right onto Bravo, contact Bangkok ground 121.75, good night.
On Bravo 121.75 out of the today.
Thai 63, surface wind 280 degrees 6 knots, runway.
Jordan's really busy. Did a great job. So if they're going to the same place, the controller's probably going to... Oh no, they're not. cheeky. I'm going to put strobes on now just because of.
Royal Bhutan 153, line up the wait, runway 20 left.
Line up weight 20 left for Bhutan 153. I don't want to get a new sky penalty for no strobes. Zato, epic. Let's see if we can quickly see you. Yes, Lufthansa cargo. See, now we're not even rolling. I've got to put in a whole load of power. I do like the sounds in this. Get the runway turn-off lights on. Boink.
Qantas 6042, subsequent to 80 degrees 6 knots, runway 1 and a clear to land.
We'll do that, save one click in a moment.
042. 5638, confirm 11901.
Thing is, you haven't actually missed anything, Zato, because there's still a queue for departures.
11901, 5638, good night.
Good night.
Dab of the brakes. And we'll line up on the numbers. Like so. So after departure, flying runway heading, about 10 miles. We'll contact
Royal Bhutan 153, subsequent to 80 degrees 6 knots, runway 20 left, clear for takeoff.
20 left, clear for takeoff, Bhutan 153, thanks. Righto. Stick forwards. Brakes off. Two clicks, flex, SRS, runway nav. Power set. Speed's alive. Knots. V1, rotate. V2. Positive rate, gear up. Oh, this little dinky jet's brilliant. Away we go, out of Bangkok. Very narrow bound there for us. Yeah, that's Payware Bangkok Siam flight.
Hello, Nokia 251, ready for taxi.
19-1. Accelerating away, a little bit of crosswind. Oh, hello. It's a bit bumpy. Bangkok approach, good afternoon. Robert Tam 153 is airborne through 2000, Tarrant 1 Golf.
Royal Bhutan 153, Bangkok Road 70 ครับ radar contact line flight level 140, understood.
Saudi Crab, climber restricted, flight level 140, Robert Tam 153. Laps.
Thai 221.
Ground spoilers arms.
Control 120.
Runway turn off lights off. Nose wheel taxi lights off.
120.1,
That's all good. That's all good.
Thai 20, contact control 132.1.
Autopilot 1 engage.
Right.
Andrew, welcome, mate. Good to see you.
279, fly.
Where we go?
Flight level 180.
Mikhail Epic. Picture in picture. Nice. A350 ops as well. Awesome. There's the right turn, around 10 miles. Have a quick check here of our climb. There's the coast. That looks so realistic in comparison to 2020. And 2020 was good, wasn't it? That's the thing. That was a very, very realistic looking sim. But this is just a whole other cup of tea.
Bangkok 279, contact control 120.15.
And we got all these amazing aeroplanes now, like the Phoenix aircraft, all the PMDG products coming into the sim. iFly 737, Just Flights 146 and all that kind of stuff as well. We've got some epic options for us. Yeah, it's the only thing lacking photogrammetry. He's in an MD-11 now, Andrew. He's a bit behind us. Centre on 1321 next, I think. Look at these clouds.
Here 4125 descent 7,000 feet. 7,000 feet, guys, here 4125.
Could turn them off for seconds just while we cut through.
938, contact control 132.1.
1321, 568, connect.
Transition altitude's 11,000 here. That's epic. Look at that. On our way to Paro.
Real Bhutan 153, climb. Bad Devil 220, unrestricted.
Climb flight level 220 unrestricted, Real Bhutan 1353. Mikhail Epic. Tracking it on New Sky, I hope. We've dropped in activity level somewhat since I've been doing only one a week. Let's go standard pressure now, so we're going to go pool standards. Good man. So we're about to cross through 11,000, that's the transition altitude. So that's good, that's good, that's good. That's all set. Let's go to manage climb, let's do this 20, we'll go flight plan on that. Some wing views going. Oh, I love it, Mikhail, thanks. There's, is it Domwang? Off over in the distance over there, I think it might be. In fact, no, that is Bangkok's Suvarnabhumi International Airport. Dom Wang's on a kind of ahead of our nose. Fifth today, so I've got a couple of screenshots to put in already. 4. Elevate X. Oh, nice. How long are you there for, Christopher? And what part of Thailand are you going to? Are you going to sort of Bangkok for the city stuff, or are you looking at going off to like Koh Samui and all that part of Thailand? I've never been to Thailand before. Extend the range on that. Airborne for 8 minutes. We can anticipate the next frequency, which I think is 1321.
Asia 4125, descent 4,000 feet unrestricted.
Descent 4,000 feet unrestricted, Asia 4125.
Wow, 1 month. Epic. I'll have to Google Kalanta. Once we get into cruise, guys, I'll show you the video that I was speaking about at the start of the stream today, just to show you how difficult this approach is going to be. I'll prep that now as we make our way up. Cruise to flight level 360 for today's trip.
Departures follow Nokia 251 out of 1,500 for 6,000.
So it doesn't show you the initial bit, annoyingly, but
unrestricted up to 220, Nokia 251.
I can show you anyway. When we get up, I'll just prep it so it's in the right place on the screen. Pretty cool though. It's a video by Flying Dragon Pilot, which I assume is actually either the captain or the first officer in this video, and they record a lot of their videos going into Paro and out of Paro. Fenix A319 doing pretty well so far. Sounds very much a bit like Japan then, Andrew. Really. Superb place. Nice, Corfu's always good though to fly to. Big fan of the Greek islands. Yeah, Canadian plus me will be fine. When did we last fly into Parazato, out of curiosity? It was quite a while ago, wasn't it?
Thai 28 Bangkok approach สวัสดีครับ radar contact กลาง flight level 160.
So, on Balanta, we'll almost have hit 220 soon, I think. Well, not Balanta, Elevatex. We've got Canadian Flight Sim at the top up here. Should be on the new comp now. Yes. 737, nice. There's a screenshot. There's one of mine. Who else we got? There's me. Bangkok's really busy. Loads of different options. There's Zato and there's MD-11. Druk 115.
Asia 3, correction, Asia 4125, descent 2000 feet. Asia 4125, 2000. Asia 4125, turn left heading 220, clear island approach runway 19.
220? I kind of would like a bit more climb.
Clear island 19, Asia 4125.
Bhutan 153 requesting further climb.
Oh, great, Bhutan 153. Sorry, I thought I had you off. Contact control 132.1.
Control center 12321. Thanks for the ATC, good night. Bhutan 153. Bangkok Control, good evening. Bhutan 153, currently level 220, Tarot.
Bhutan 153, Bangkok Control, good evening. Identify the climb. Stop by one moment, something is bugged here.
Probably because the controller's not had to be off.
Caravan Bhutan 1, climb flight number 350, no, correction, 360.
Climb flight over 360, Bhutan 153. Into the climb.
Bhutan 115 and leaving airspace, Montreal 5K 122Z42. Wait for Unicom 128 for Bhutan 15. Thank you for the ATC on the ground. 520, descent when ready, level 130. Singapore 712, contact approach 119er, decimal 129. 191. Check.
So this actual flight that we're doing today is one that's actually done departing Bangkok at 5 in the morning local time, and then they arrive about sort of early morning, 7:30, 8 o'clock in the morning over in Paro. So it's kind of like an early morning hop. What we've done is we've wound the time back a bit, because naturally at the moment now in real life it's night time in Thailand. And we need the daytime for the approach into Paro. We can pre-arm 1228.
Sorry, Asia 867, start to shape 4160.
5867, Roger.
I don't actually know what people do in Paro, Christopher. I might have to Google that. Or I might fire it into Gemini. There's a nunnery, monasteries, temples, a microbrewery, of all things. More monasteries. In Paro, Bhutan, you can engage in a variety of activities, including visiting historical and religious sites, enjoying the natural beauty and experiencing local culture. Key attractions include the iconic Tiger's Nest Monastery, a temple, National Museum of Bhutan. You can also explore Cheli La Pass, hike or bike through the Paro Valley, and enjoy the Paro River. Cheli La Pass is a high mountain pass offering breathtaking views of the Himalayas and surrounding valleys. Druk is a ruined fortress offering panoramic views of the surrounding valley and mountains. Loads of temples. National Museum of Bhutan is housed in a former watchtower.
Bangkok Trader, Sawadee, good evening. This is
Rafting and kayaking in the Paro River. Trails all across the Paro Valley with hikers and trekkers. There's a Paro weekend market, bustling market, finding local crafted souvenirs and food, local cuisine, lots of traditional Bhutanese dishes, including momos. I'll have to find out what they are. There's an artisanal brewery trying local beers and learn about Bhutanese brewing traditions, and lots of traditional farmhouses. Actually seems like quite a lot to do for a very remote, difficult to get to, dangerous to get to area.
Descent 5,000 feet, QNH 1005.
Alex, welcome. In Tarsi, Australia, good evening. Hope you're well. Glad you enjoy the contact, mate. Ashton, the departure was very busy, to be fair. The air traffic controllers were doing an amazing job sequencing a whole lot of people. Once we get handed off to Unicom, I'll play without any of the music. In fact, is there music? I don't think there is music. I'll play it with the video noise on, because then you'll hear the ground proximity warning system and all that kind of stuff. But you can effectively see when I show you the charts. When I show you the video shortly, video kind of starts here and they're flying that way, just for point of reference. So they've done the where has it gone? There we go. They've done the RNAT of Yankee runway 33, which is this, following it all the way through the valley. From here they're then doing this kind of manually flown circling procedure in the valley itself. It's not a circle to land as such, but you're kind of just hand flying in the valley, completely visual, and there is no guidance for it whatsoever. There's no charts. I can show you that that's the only set of star charts. You've got RMP Zulu, Yankee and X-ray. And then we've just got some taxi charts, no departures and no reference charts. So there's very little to go on, except the Mark 1 eyeball, as they used to call it. No, we get handed off, I think. Yeah, so 60 miles or so from now. At Betno we'll do a fuel check as well, it'd be wise to do so. Go view flight plan. Especially that little bit where we've levelled off.
Bangkok control, IH to South Quebec, will be really happy with
8.3 tonnes. It looks like we're going to be bang on that.
Thai Asia 25 Quebec, stand by. I'll hand you up shortly to the next sector and you can take the time.
Doing right, it's handling it
Okay,
wonderfully. So
I'm standing by to the next sector and then I'll take the time.
Pilot 67, contact Bangkok Control 120.150. Have a good landing, bye-bye.
Contact Bangkok Control 20150. Thai Asia 867, thank you, bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Center Hello Osprey 558, climbing site level 220 inbound Karen.
Osprey 558, Bangkok Control, good evening. Identify the climb flight level 380, proceed to direct to Betno.
Direct Betno, climb site level 380, Osprey 558.
There he is. Flying in the vintage MD-11. There was, as we get through to Bangladeshi airspace, there were some SIGMETs with some pretty poor weather in this area, but as we get into the kind of valley of Paro, there isn't really very much.
Bhutan 153, leaving Mary Space, Yangon offline, Montreal advisory 122.9. Have a good flight, bye-bye.
1228 for Bhutan 153, thanks for the ATC, have a good night.
You too.
Rightio, let's show you that video then folks, because it's pretty cool. And it will show you what we're going to do in comparison to obviously the charts that I just showed you a moment ago. So here we go, let's see if I make it a little bit bigger. Cool, right, so remember where I said they were, just for point of reference, if as a refresh, they were pretty much, the start of the video, in this little bit of the valley where I've circled, facing the direction of the green arrow, which is what we're going to be replicating. So they've come in through the valley, overflown the airfield, punched out to the north, left to fly up in the Paro Valley. I think from memory there's no noise except for ATC and things like that, but yeah.
Terrain ahead.
Check out this guy's
Terrain
YouTube channel, it's
ahead.
pretty good. It's all videos involving like Paro and stuff. So there goes the GPWS.
1,000. Check. Clear enough. Clear enough. Do you want to see this? Good left. And manage speed. Speed manage 10.
There's the big turn in the valley. No autopilot, you'll notice.
1,000.
Still working rounds. I'll just pause there and I'll show you point of reference where he is now. He's here. He's gone all the way around there, red line, and he's facing this way. I'm just going to clear that so it's easy for me to deal with later.
Helicopter Bravo, possibility top crossing, reach the 1,000.
So right in front of the first officer is one of the big temples. There's a river right underneath. You can't really see it, but there's a river that kind of goes right up to that temple. You follow that river. Look how close the train is on the left. He's still descending. It's about 400 feet per minute. Temple now is right in between the screen.
500.
Right in front of the jet. Here's the steep turn. 30 degrees angle of bank. You're going to see the runway in a moment. Right there in front of the first officer. It's now right in front of the pilot in that bit of glare.
200.
Look how aggressive this now is. Which is what we did last time and it broke the Phoenix. 30 degrees. Very solid level off.
50, 40, 30, 20. Retard. 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 Retard.
Touchdown. Auto brake low. Max reverse. It's even harder than runway 33. And that's what we're going to be doing today.
Auto brake off. Yeah.
So yeah, have a little look at that channel. It's all that stuff is all about, like, yeah, Flying Dragon Pilot. It all seems to be flying into and out of Paro and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, that's what we have to look forward to. But that's in real life. It's insane, right? Amazing. Some ballsy pilots. Yeah, that's it, Alex. He flicked that in like it was like a standard approach for him into like Heathrow. Zero margin for error. You notice all the way through that approach, whether he was hand flying that, he had his hands on the throttles. So if anything went wrong, he'd just pin it into Toga and climb away. So we have that to look forward to in a little bit. Let's get the tunes back on. To be honest, I didn't really watch. Andrew's asking, I think. Was it Andrew asking earlier about... There you go. Did you see anything that caught your attention at Flight Sim Expo last weekend? Any hardware or products? If I'm really honest, I haven't actually bothered catching up with any of it. I just haven't had time. I've spent the last week on a residential course for work away from home, so... like long hours and a lot of stuff, so... I haven't had a chance to look at any Flight Sim Expo stuff whatsoever. And over the weekend of Expo last weekend... on the stream I did on Friday, I spent a lot of time revising and prepping and packing stuff, so you guys will need to fill me in really. What have you found the most interesting out of everything that went on at Flight Sim Expo? There's some good stuff I saw from Winwing, all of their really expensive new rudder pedals and yokes and things that they're going to be bringing in, which is pretty cool. Let's just clear off that company message that we've got. And I forgot to do a fuel check, so we'll do one at Pumac. which is in the Yangon FIR, Myanmar. 7.9 tons estimated fuel on board. Yeah, 757 I'm very excited for. I saw the trailer to that and it just looks superb. But I'm really still very disappointed and a bit annoyed that they're not going to simultaneously release that for 2024 at the same time. I think it's just a stupid decision. I don't know. I don't know what the genuine reasons are behind it, but they're effectively going to release it on 2021 and then work on to compatibility with 2024. Which means I'm going to have to reinstall Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020. I think I'll probably end up reinstalling it in a very basic sense. A couple of add-ons here or there. And that's it, just so I can enjoy it once or twice for previews, have a little look, show you guys. But I have been trying to, not necessarily put pressure on Shervin, but I've said to Shervin on an email that I genuinely think he needs to reconsider the launch being compatible with msfs 2024 from day one. And I think if lots of people commented saying, look, I've moved to 2024 now, as in like you guys that have fully moved over to 2024, just be like, I've already moved to 2024, I think you should reconsider. I think if there was enough buzz around that, they will have to listen. If they're a decent company, they would need to take that into account and go, you know what, actually, we've had 1,000 requests saying they want compatibility with 2024 from day one, maybe we should bring that, and then, you know, they should put a bit of effort into that. I've done what I can. I've said, look, I think you should do it. It makes sense. Whether they do that or not, I don't know. .7880. So a little bit lower on the fuel burn by probably about 50 kilograms, but that's fine. I'm not going to worry about that. No, it's a bit misleading, Electrox. This whole "it's more stable", I'm guessing you haven't tried 2024 recently. I've been on completely on Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024 since Sim Update 2, and it has been flawless. Yeah, touch wood. I've jinxed it now. But it has been really flawless, and most of the add-ons that I had in 2020 are now in 2024. Minus things like the PMDG 737, Parallel 42, need to pull the figures out the backsides. But beyond that, actually, there are a lot of compatible add-ons now. And some of the stuff, for example, like the Inabuilds A350 is better, quite vastly better on 2024. So my experience of this newer sim has been superb now, recently. I had lots of problems with it when it first got released, through to Sim Update 2. But Sim Update 2, there was a big step change in stability, and it has been genuinely flawless for me since. Performs better, the multi-threading works really well, the graphics are superb. I can't complain, if I'm really honest. So I see people say Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020 is more stable, but it's not. I don't think anymore. I think they're quite equal, if I'm honest. There's still fundamental differences between the two. You know, 2024 streams a lot of stuff, but Sim Update 3 will allow you supposedly to download more things onto the hard drive, so I'll no doubt be doing that. Okay, so we're 80 kilograms below our fuel estimates. .5 tons of fuel on board, estimated on arrival, which is bang on the estimate in SimBrief actually, so we'll level off, it'll even itself out somehow. Block time 3 hours 8, air time 2 hours 40. So we've got 2 hours to go. little late off the ground. James, welcome. We're flying to IronSim PARO today, so there is a PARO airport that's included in Microsoft Flight Simulator. Just going to bring up the product page for this so we can have a little look what we can expect when we get on the ground. Let's bring up the screen. Full screen. Okay. Right, here we go. Bosh. Let's get that YouTube trailer back on. So it's a very like bam 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 video. Quite hard to follow, to be honest, and assess what you're going to be getting from the video. But it looks like there might be photogrammetry involved. Some nice specific details. Radio, what have we got? So, here's some pictures on the product page. Paro Airport Bird's Eye View, that is one of the things to do in Paro that came up on Google. Plane spotting area. Looks like the river actually has been modelled as part of the scenery a little bit. I'd like to have seen maybe they've tarmacked the road rather than just leave that blank, what do you call it, blank car park photogrammetry satellite stuff. Engineering hangars with some statics. I'm hoping there's not many statics around. Apron textures look good. Fire training area on the left there. It looks a bit more enhanced than the one that's included in the sim. There's a lot more detail to this. We'll see when we get there. Oh, there are all the images. What does it say? Experience one of the most thrilling and visually breathtaking airports in the world. Crafted with precision, passion, performance in mind. Nestled deep in the Himalayan valley, Paro is known for its challenging approach, dramatic terrain, and limited number of certified pilots allowed to land here. Handcrafted scenery recreates the real-world Paro International Airport. 4K PBR textures, custom ground service equipment, terrain-accurate ground polygons, and designed for total immersion without night lighting, just like the real-world airport. True-to-life layout based on satellite and real references. Yeah, you've got to make sure you disable the Sobos, Paro, obviously. Five stars, but there's a criticism there from Nikita, whoever that is, saying that it's a little bit of terraforming needs to be sorted out there. Needs to be steeper instead of smoother. Husky, welcome. Thanks for subscribing. But you've got a lot of problems with your sim today, FPS Gaming. Have you changed anything recently? I'm going to go ahead and get this ready as well, Paro. Arrivals. I want to have a Yankee 3-3, but we'll then fly a manual approach, bog up 1 Alpha, and it's going to be approach via Papa Romeo 777. No Electrox, that's the point, there's no night lighting at the real Paro airport apparently. So they've disabled the night lighting on the scenery, so you don't get any. Whereas I think the night lighting in the Sims default one has night lighting, but the airport isn't used at night. You just can't fly into it at night, so which is why we've wound the time back. Otherwise, we'd be like, "Where's the airport?" Gary, welcome. Take your time, mate. There's never any rush with these things. Just enjoy it. Let's see. Fix. I'll do an 8-mile radius fix just so we've got a kind of visual circle around. Flight plan. Oh, actually, that's a good point. I'm going to do that too. Uh, 151 and 331. So big old extended centre lines getting drawn on the maps, and that will help us with that visual approach. Minimal VFR conditions about at Paro at the moment. Visibility's 8,000 metres, winds 130 at 7, variable between 100 degrees and 170 degrees, scatter cloud at 3,000 above ground level, UNH 1011. Spicy. That's cool, Zato. How many hours have you got in the Starship so far, then? I imagine you're pretty bang on and accurate flying it now as well, I'd guess. Great little aeroplane, super quirky. Myanmar below, not very much photogrammetry. It's a bit of an isolated nation. We've got Yangon underneath the cloud on our right hand side of the screen. Myanmar, that's how you pronounce it, I suppose. Runway length at Paro is 2,265 metres. Airport elevation 7,364 feet. Very high up. 52 hours. Wow. 100 hours in total. That's good going. I reckon you might be one of the highest houred Starship pilots in the sim. In the world. Potentially. That's a lot of hours. It's only been out for about 2 weeks, I think. Have you taken it right up to its cruise altitude max of like 40-odd thousand feet? max, flight level 410, that's the max. Yeah, the Starship is good. It's frustrating because I tried to get across on my preview videos how fantastic it was. In fact, you did need to spend time and effort learning it like you've done. But it was a superb aircraft from you know, nose to tail, all the sounds, the whole package is just amazing. And I got a little bit of flack in the comments about it, saying that I was being biased because I'd got it for free. But it genuinely is a superb little package. I found recently that, yeah, it's one of those things. Try to kind of ignore the noise. I mean, it's not an aeroplane that you can just kind of jump into, Control E and zip away. You've got to spend a bit of time getting your head around the quirky flow, creating the flight plans, and all that sort of thing, because it is a bit different, isn't it, Zato? But once you get your head around the flow, it's actually quite intuitive in a bizarre way. CDU typing. Do you use the keyboard? Do you just kind of click into it and then type away with the keyboard, or do you press the buttons like I do? But you click into the CDU and then just use your keypad on your keyboard to type in whatever you want, and it's a hell of a lot quicker. And you can just press enter to once you've typed what you want to type to lock it in. Have you been tracking those flights in Elevatex as well? I need to put it on while you're doing it, Zato. I need to put it on to what you call it, the New Sky. How do I see? Let's see, Zato. Starship, here you go, look at this. Can't see your screenshots though. That's well cool. Where's that Starship flight just gone? I've clicked into. Oh, that's mine. Okay. Starship, 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 Starship. Properly cool. We need to get back in that, really. Jesus, Zato, look at that. That's your route network covered. I'm not trying to get any more, Liam. I think it's brilliant. And if you've got a computer that struggles a little bit on performance, this is a heck of a lot less resource intensive. So you can actually use this and save your computer a little bit more power. It's a really, really good bit of kit. It's a lot better than Volanta, I think. And I like Volanta, but crazy. Yeah, ElevateX is definitely worth a try. If you've not given it a go yet, it's fantastic. Mike, hello matey. Very good, how are you? Hope you're well. Pretty much. No, Liam, you can export it. So if I just show you, it's elevatex.app, by the way, for the website. You can go to, I think, settings, data, Volanta, and then you basically just work through that and it'll tell you how to do it. You go into Volanta and you export all of your data, and it takes about 20-30 odd minutes depending on how much data you've got to export. You then get sent an email saying your data export's ready from Volanta. You click it and it downloads a zip, and when you basically put that zip folder into here, you get this, which is, if I go onto my profile, click load. No, it's tracking my flight. Hold on. Flights. There you go, it's loaded up all my Volanta flights. And it imports it all in there for you. We need to do more South America. Yeah, that's fine, Mike. Yeah, I'm pretty much the same, to be fair. I managed to maybe get on it once a week now. I'll either pre-record content or stream, but I can never really do both anymore. Pretty busy. Currently kind of saving up to try and fit the garage out, turn it into a little bit of a sort of home gym with big cable machines and things. That's next on my kind of list of things to do. That'll take me a bit of time to build whenever eventually I kind of get all that saved up and ordered. Yeah, Liam, it's definitely worth it because ElevateX is free. I'll type the website in the chat for you guys. It's not easy to say. Volanta is easier than ElevateX or ElevateX. I'm not really sure how it's supposed to pronounce it, to be fair. Could have maybe picked a nicer name, but it is really cool. And you can configure it how you want as well. But yeah, you can download it and try it, Liam. And if you don't like it, worst case, you just uninstall it again and go back to Volanta. You don't lose it. You don't lose anything or risk anything. So Artie says Volanta is such a resource hog. When I fly the Fenix, I'd run around 30 to 50 frames. With Volanta, I'd be running at Microsoft PowerPoint frames. So have you noticed a massive difference for you switching to Elevatex then, Zato? Game bubble, amazing. In the middle of building a log cabin. Time on the sim has just vanished. Thing is, being outside doing stuff outdoors is actually really important. Massive, massive performance increase. And that's crazy because actually Elevatex does a lot of stuff. Nothing beyond the size of an A320neo goes into Paro in real life. I've never looked at that feature too much, Zato, to be honest. The environmental cost of your virtual flight. What my last one was. What do we do? Now let's do that one into Samos. What have we got here? So this was last week. Put a few screen grabs in there. Stroke statistics: 25,344 kilos of CO2, 30 kilograms of CO2 reduction. I'm doing my bit. Good landing as well. I'll show you some more bits, Liam, as well. So you can tick all of this on and off as you want to. You can have a look at Elevatex pilots on and off. You can change the map to kind of like a night mode if you prefer that. Some people do. It's actually quite nice, to be fair, having it like that. I think I prefer that, actually. Weather radar on and off. Scenery. By ticking it, you get like a little icon next to all the airports that you have installed. So like there, for example, Dhaka. Final Approach Design Studios version 1.5.2 in msfs 2024. Tells you that. It's pretty cool. And then ATC, you can toggle on and off what you want. So all of your VATSIM centres, airports, approaches, departure frequencies, you can select all those. You can see there Bangkok, for example, being all online at the moment. You can see the frequencies and all that kind of thing. And that's just the map filters. You can also open the toolbox. Put in like a METAR request for an airport or a D-ATIS request if you're flying around the States. And you can also bring up your SimBrief flight plan in here as well, like the basics. And if you want to see it in detail, you can go through the whole thing. All in one app. Dead smooth, really quick, very impressive. It's easy to configure what aeroplanes you're in as well. Volanta kind of just defaults to stuff, but yeah. Ooh, the 727 was a right dirty one then. Yes, Mike, indeed. Same old people. Shaking hands, exchanging money with the same developers. That all still goes on in flight sim content creation. The big sponsorships and all that kind of stuff. And actually, all it is just misleading all of us as a consumer. In reality, you know, like my Pimax Crystal Light headset is very, 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 very good. Like, it's really cool, and I'm grateful that they've sent that to me. But they're very, they like to put pressure on you as a content creator. I went through like a couple of days back. I had like 5 DMs. Oh, hello, have you thought about this? Here's a flash deal. Here's this. Here's that. Oh, and here's some ideas for some content for you to push more PMAX stuff. And I'm like, and I reply back to be like, you just leave me alone, basically, in a much more polite way. Just leave me alone. I will do my own stuff in my own time, because that's natural. Forcing the issue is just ethically a bit wrong, I think. And then it forces people to be biased and be overly positive with something they don't, you know. Whereas I will just push back and say, no, I'm not willing to do that. Whereas someone will go, well, I've been sent this for £500. It's 500 quid's worth of stuff on a 3-month loan. I'm going to be super positive about it so that I get to keep it. I'm not bothered about that. I think everything should be completely honest. No strings attached. No pressure on the creators to kind of just spend a bit of time using something, taking a look, going through stuff, offering their thoughts. Especially with big money items like a VR headset. But then at the same time, on the flip side, I get it from their point of view. They want to push as many sales as they can, so they're going to put pressure on. But like, yeah, like Thrustmaster sponsorships, people swearing blind about how amazing their products were, but most of the Thrustmaster products are crap. They're really expensive, cheap plastic, cheaply made bits of rubbish that break very easily, and they don't really last long. And that was proof in the pudding. Was my Boeing TCA Thrustmaster yoke, which I paid for with my own money. I thought, you know, I've seen some videos, a couple of content creators saying how amazing this thing is. There was a lot of hype around it on the release. I thought, oh, I'm going to get one myself then, I'll buy it. Because I needed a new bit of hardware, so I bought it, and bang on a year later it broke. And then I've ended up buying a Winwing F16 HOTAS. And this has been amazing since I bought it. Solid bit of kit. Not been sent it, but yeah, I've paid for it. Solid bit of kit, really good build quality, does everything I want it to, and it's a great bit of kit to use. I've not used VKB though, or is it Moser? Some people are going on about Moser, very expensive. I'm not convinced that they're worth the money. I don't know. David says Thrustmaster have cut a lot of their streamer sponsorships over the last week or so. Crikey, who's been dropped then? Have most people been dropped then? Because they were lucrative sponsorships with a lot of content creators. Like the big full-time streamers, for example. Like they relied on those big sponsorships with Thrustmaster and all that kind of stuff. That's going to hit them pretty hard. But again, it just incurs bias, doesn't it? I've been paid £1,000 a month to show Thrustmaster products in all my videos. I'm never going to criticise them. That's how I look at that kind of stuff. Interesting. But is that because Thrustmaster are struggling? I wonder. They've lost a lot of market share to Winwing and a few other, hardware developers that have come up on the scene, haven't they? I just think when you see content creators, I get that's their business. When you see them doing proper sponsorship stuff, take everything they say with a pinch of salt in relation to that. Yeah, Say Intentions, for example, they're really pushing it. So they're paying I imagine, big bucks to some of the content guys doing the full-time streams. But they're never going to say, "Oh, look at this is rubbish," or "that needs fixing," because of the money that they, you know, it's lucrative. They need it. That's their job. What was it? Oh yeah, Chewie's been dropped. Well, though he's worded it as if it's like a mutual ending, to be fair. May or may not be, we'll never know. Chris Packet, wow. I think maybe some of these big companies are realising that actually they don't need to pay full-time content creators to do their sales and advertisement for them. They can just send a couple of things out to for free to some content creators, whether they're full-time or they do bits ad hoc, whatever, and they'll get the same result, potentially, but with a much more honest kind of thing. Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, 330 driver as well, say intentions of, you know, they've bought him as well. And that's probably the best way of describing it. They're just buying people, aren't they? So just take everything with a pinch of salt, folks, because it's your money that, you know, if you're going to go out and buy something and then find out that it's rubbish, or you don't quite get on with it, but you've heard only good things about it, then that's how that kind of agreement tricks people. I'm never a massive fan of that. It just incurs bias. Some of the stuff's really good. You know, I've tried FS Academy in the past. I've done a couple of sponsored adverts for them, but I tried the product a few times in the past prior to that, and they're going, "Yeah, actually, this is pretty good for some people. I'll agree to do it for a couple of videos," kind of thing, and then that's it. Then we move on. And then it gives people the choice and the option, and we can chat quite open and honest about it as well, without any kind of strings or pressure to just be positive all the time. I think that's quite important. Brian says he found the Cytec rudder pedals for himself, hardware-wise, to be quite poor quality. Went through 2 sets in a year, including warranty replacements, with the toe brakes they kept failing. Wow. A lot of people tend to say really good things about the Cytec hardware, though. A lot of people have had some of the Cytec things for years, haven't they? Is it WinWing? No, not Amarok. WinWing. I know they're super expensive. Orion. Was it not Amarok? Is it Orion? Just loading up the WinWing website because I can't quite remember what they. Oh, it is the WinWing Orion. I know it's not. That's the ones they already have. Where's the ones from FS Expo? They've got some amazing things coming out soon, WinWing, by the looks of it. Or maybe it was the Orion too. Available for pre-ordering. Oh no, that's a bit different. Maybe they weren't. Maybe it was something else. But they've got like a really cool looking yoke coming out soon, and WinWing Orion metal flight rudder pedals. They'll probably end up, when I replace my Thrustmaster ones, when they start to be a bit more rubbish, I'll probably end up getting some of those. These here, the WinWing Orions. 350 quid. It's quite reasonable. metal. And they look pretty comprehensive and pretty decent, don't they? And well made. So I'll probably end up getting something like that next, rather than a plastic fantastic job. But even Winwing lately, I've noticed have started to kind of up their price a little bit with some of the things. The Boeing yoke, I think, I'm gonna have to remember what it is. Yeah, the airliner version, that's it, David, that they showed at Expo. I think that the where is it? Because some of the stuff is remaining like a really good price. And then they've got this, the Cyber Taurus rudder pedals, there we go. So if you want the really kind of funky top spec Cyber Taurus rudder pedals, it's very confusing because it doesn't make sense, because they've got Cyber Taurus rudder pedals EB14032 US dollars 500, and then they've got Cyber Taurus rudder pedals EB432 US dollars 600. So yeah, even they bumped their prices quite a bit. I think they're realising that actually now they're starting to get quite a lot of footfall and quite a lot of the market chunk. So yeah, it's going to be interesting from them. But yeah, even that's quite expensive. 500 US, 600 US dollars in British money. That's £440. So I'd probably end up just buying the normal Orion rudder pedals, I think, to be honest. But yeah, the Cyber Taurus, that's going to be the new stuff coming soon. They look amazing, to be fair, but yeah, very expensive. Cyber Taurus rudder pedals 600 for the non-airliner versions. Or they've got like a Airbus and a Boeing style, haven't they? Quite a bit spenny. Yeah, force feedback and electronic load control, which is a very interesting feature, apparently, by the looks of that. I was just reading. Matthew, good morning. Let's go, thanks for subscribing, welcome to the channel. Chris Packett says he bit the bullet, kind of, now in VATSIM observer mode. He attempted to try proper VATSIM. When he logged in last night, he was last online in 2007, only used text, wow. Yeah, go for it, you'll be fine. Electrox, I've never used Say Intentions, so I don't really know, if I'm honest. Some folks have in the chat. Some people, I know Matthew uses it. Says there he's using Say Intentions, and he has to say the traffic projection is very good. I don't know if they when I spoke to Say Intentions about a year or so ago, they said, oh, you know, we'd love to get your feedback, etc., but we are only interested in North America at the moment. And I don't know if they continue to do that, or if it's working across all of Europe. But yeah, you've got Beyond ATC as well, David, you use that quite a bit, don't you? What's more surprising, Zartis, is at FS Expo was to list partnering with Aerosoft for the A340. Yeah, a bit weird. Because their A330 was an absolute train wreck, and it still is. So, I don't know. They must have thrown, me being cynical, bear with me, but they must have thrown a ton of cash at Tillis, saying, look, please come on board with us, and also later on fix our A330 while you're at it. because they, yeah, like FlightSim Gaming says, I think they're really trying they're on the damage limitation. Let's save our reputation kind of mode of operation at the moment. Chris Packett says, can anyone suggest a reasonably priced USB headset? We'll see what Prime Day brings up. Yeah, mate, the one I've got at the moment, I'm trying to get out from Amazon. 2 seconds, just take it off and I'll find out what it was called. Doesn't have a name on it, bear with me, I'll check in my Amazon orders. It is really good. And I think it was only like 30 quid, 20 quid USB. Where's my orders? Headset. EPOS H3 closed acoustic gaming headset. Plug and play. PC, Mac, PS4, PS5, Switch, Xbox, Onyx Black. Oh, it's only available in white now, 55 quid. So there might be a newer version of it, to be fair. But that's pretty good. Or you could use what I had before, which is the HyperX Cloud Stinger. But I think that might have been old click kind of thing. They're 50 quid now as well, actually, to be fair. So yeah, EPOS H3 closed acoustic one is what I've got. It seemed pretty good. David says, my biggest gripe with Beyond ATC is that they've asked customers what to concentrate on for the current development cycle, and people voted for GSX integration. Yeah, of course they did. Matthew, hello. Yeah, it says there you should also give the Aerosoft CRJ another crack in the near future. It has made a massive improvement. Is that beyond the version 2 that we did the other day? Because when did we do it? Let me just find it. We did version 2 when it got released a few weeks back. Monterini, A320, A32NX, 777-200s, A350s, air traffic control. Oh crikey, I need to do an ATC session soon. 13th of April, CRJ version 2, Dusseldorf to Milan and back. And yeah, it was really good. .1 released last week, big difference in flight model, nice. Just have to give Hans props for the work he's done on it after about 5 years. Mike says the Razer headsets are pretty good and quite cheap to get into. So probably not this weekend, probably the weekend after, providing I need to check see what I'm doing, because I've got a few things coming up. What's it going to be? Dogfest. I can't remember. Or the weekend after that, maybe. We'll do a controller session of some sort. Get the 3 hours in for the quarter. Bike's doing well, James, thank you. I'm very curiously looking at the new BMW R1300 RS. I'm probably going to go test drive that at some point in July, just to go and have a look. I've never rode a Boxer, just out of pure curiosity more than anything else. But they're meant to be superb, so thought I'd go and have a little ride of that one day. MATLAB, you kind of have to re-download most things just to make sure you've got the 2024 compatibility thing. David says, am I still in the S2 queue for tower training, or have you given up on it? If I'm honest, I just can't be bothered to do the exam again. I keep failing it, and I just can't be bothered, so I've just given up. I'll just stay as I am until I end up lapsing as a controller, and then I'll just wash it off, and they'll lose a controller. Which is pretty bad, isn't it, really? But I've got to that point now where it's taken so long. The last time I did the exam, the web browser bugged out as I was sitting the exam, and it skipped forwards like 4 questions, and it doesn't let you go back. So I was just like, you know what, I've had enough. Just sort out that standby altimeter, because interestingly, I've set them all to be linked in there, but that doesn't seem to be linked. Hey ho. Brian, amazing. Whereabouts in Norway are you going, mate? Sold the bike to buy a son's car to learn in 20 years ago. What did you have? Vet's epic. Nothing better than an iced coffee out of his Osprey Airways Heathrow chart mug. Loadingen for Brian near Harstad. Nice, CBR 1000. Well, that's a bit of an adventure, Brian. Well, from Manchester to Stockholm to Bodo to Evenes to get there. Wow. What have you got, MPS? Margarita. If you say Hawaiian, you're getting banned for 6 days. Pineapple never ever should be on pizza. There's a lot of you liking pineapple and pizza. Unbelievable. I don't think so, Fets. It was one of the files that I actually lost when I changed to the new computer. The like the blueprints of the airport designs that I created. And they took me hours and hours and hours to sort out. Yeah, I might have to spend a bit of time trying to create them again. Well, I might do some more generic ones, so they don't necessarily have to have the channel stuff on it. It'll just be like a blueprint of Heathrow Airport or something cool. Ooh, crikey, that's a cool pizza. That's on focus still. Jesus, that looks very busy. They're all doing the RNAV Zulu 15. There's 3 pilots there. 3 on the ground, 1 just landed. You just landed on 3-3 anyway. I love that. Leroy! We're going to be copying that real world tough approach. Was that actually? You blame the Canadians for Hawaiian pizza. Is that true? Well, this is when he first went to Greece years ago. I'd never seen black olives on pizza. He thought they were Maltesers. Brian was 11 flying BOAC to Canada. The first course was hors d'oeuvres. He thought they were grapes, not olives. Do like a green olive. Not a fan of black olives though. They've got like a weird kind of acrid taste to them in comparison. Do like a green olive. How are we doing? Avled. Where's that waypoint on my fuel on board bits? 5.6. Oh, good. We're bang on the money with our fuel burns. Got about an hour to go. Oh, actually, here's one for you guys in America, and maybe Canada, because I assume they're in Canada. I'm just going to get a couple of websites up, and I want your feedback. Was it? trying to sort this out so that I can actually give you guys the idea, because it will make more sense when I show you. That's one. So then I'll set this one up. Right, here we go. So, I'm going to get something like these. For those of you in the States, I want to know what your thoughts are on the companies. I don't know if you've heard of the Rep and Rogue. They're meant to be pretty cool. There's a lot of Rogue stuff in the UK, but primarily a US company. But they're crazy money. Like, that's $6.5 grand. But I want to get like a one-size-fits-all solution for the garage. But I don't know what to get, and I don't know if one of them is better than the other. For those of you in the States, because supposedly they're quite big companies in the US, apparently. No. What do you think? Is it for torch chamber? No. For the garage. The back of the garage is going to become a gym. So like last weekend before I went away, I ended up putting a load of OSB board on top of the insulation and things that I've put in there over the last couple of years. And it's been a project that's gone on for like a year now, just little bits added over time. So it's taken me about 8 months to just put some OSB boarding in to finish, like create the quote walls inside of the garage. I've got like a section for the motorbike, there's a whole load of racks for storage, and then I want to have like the rear of the garage as like a gym. But I don't know the difference between those two companies, which are supposedly a really good company in the US, but both of them are very good, but it's hard to work out which one's better than the other. What's the wind doing? As in like right now? Or on approach to... What the? Oh yeah, I've got my EFIS, haven't I? Someone just come the... Well, that'd have been interesting to watch. I think somebody just flew at us at the wrong altitude. Who the heck was that? BBC 368. He's literally at the wrong altitude. And no flight plan. You'll be alright, Aaron. You're at a different altitude. Jeez, we missed all of that, didn't we? The TCAS going berserk. That'd have been interesting to watch. But it actually did all of the TARA for us. Whilst we're just sitting quite comfortably in the back. My goodness. Right, it's actually taken us off the off nav as well. Critic, welcome. Open Sky invite code. Afternoon, Lee. Welcome, buddy. Hope you're having a good weekend. Is there any time when they're looking at launching Sim Update 3? The Sim. It's got to be within weeks, right? from Dhaka. There's a big old kind of direct 2 built into the thing now. Fair enough, Lee. Well, there is time if you still want to join us to prep from Dhaka for a little hop up to Paro. Up to you, the invitation is always there. This is all that SIGMET weather now, so it's going to be some high level cloud. Shouldn't necessarily be any bad winds, but we'll just have to kind of keep an eye on it really. Cheers, Badger. What we've got? Paro Metar 1307, variable winds 100 to 170, 8,000 metres visibility still, QNH 1011. Ah, you'll be right, Canadian Flight Simulator. It's always messy flying into Paro, to be fair, mate. We've all prepped as much as each other. I'm actually going to start putting some of this in now. Not really changing very much. Maybe a bit of temperature, a bit of wind difference, but 137. All flat. Minimum for this approach, by the way, is going to be 10,740 feet. I'm just going to let us put it in. Yeah, there we go. 10,740. That's insane. mean, there are some occasions on VATSIM where you don't need a flight plan. Like if you're flying VFR, then you could just have. They still expect you to have something, but you could argue you don't need a flight plan for VFR as long as you stick to the rules. But there should be like a, in VATSIM at least, on for VFR, they expect you to have a departure and a destination airport filed, and then in remarks just local VFR or something like that. Otherwise on the radar you just kind of blank completely. It doesn't sound too far away, does it, Zato? Just Flight Fokker 170. They sound really cool as well. There it says you don't need a flight plan for VFR on VATSIM. If you don't file and want to enter controlled airspace, the controller can create one for you, but it's nice if you do file because it saves the controller's time. If you're buzzing around, like if you're going to do Denham to Oxford and you're going to stay in Class G airspace, for example, then you don't need to do anything like that. And if a controller comes on, just be like, well, I'm not flying in your airspace, so go away. And then you wouldn't be doing anything wrong. That's awesome. Oh, CRJ 550 into Paro. You can't just sit at 1,000 feet, British transport enthusiasts. If you're flying in the UK, for example, you might be flying through pockets of different bits of airspace where you might have Class D airspace at surface to 2,000 feet, and then Class A airspace at 5,000 plus feet. So you could buzz through at Class G airspace at like 3,000 feet. But there's some of the things that you've got to kind of be able to work out. But in the UK, VFR is difficult because you need to basically buy the maps in order to be able to see what you're doing, if that makes sense. You've made some really good progress. Let us know how you get on the approach. make use of the terrain radar. Oh, that's pretty big, David. Oh yeah, taxi bootings from Navigraph, that's coming soon. That's going to be quite nice to use. Yeah, European VFR charts is going to be huge. I wonder if they're going to get the UK charts or if they're going to struggle. I do wonder. Yeah, it is Brian, isn't it? That would be good. I mean, it was a little while ago I tried to sort out the couple of contact requests off to various things to say, look, what about if we did a new show sort of thing, how much would it be to organise, etc. But nobody replied. Dakar below. Really good scenery by Final Approach Designs. Not been there for a while. Inside that thick bit of cloud. They've just had the Cosford Air Show, haven't they, Brian? It's huge. Really cool. Did enjoy going there every year. What specifically made FS Weekend good for you, Brian? Curious to know, because I thought about going there myself because it's easier and cheaper to get to. Hours, which means we should have 40 minutes to landing. 40 minutes. Yeah. 40 minutes to go. Top of descent's coming up, 120 nautical miles at Van 2. And we'll work our way down. Too steep a path ahead. Check the data. It's going to be that there. What we got on the maps? Bangkok. Papa Romeo 777. 16,000. And then too steep path. 746, Papa Romeo 734. Is for different routing. So Papa Romeo 712 at 11,800. Okay, so that's where it's been warning us. Look. Wesley, welcome. How you doing, mate? Yeah, it's all good. We got loads of altitude anyway. Clear it off. It's always worth checking anyway. Just to be on the safe side. It's interesting to hear that you thought it was as good as Flight Sim Expo, Brian. Yeah, 52 months is good going, isn't it? It's a whole lot of time. There's a whole lot of cloud to work through as well. The latest METAR, if I just refresh that, that was when we departed. Probably the same. Oh, there we go. METAR not available because the airport in real life is now closed. You and the ETA should be at the top of your screen. Tell me if it isn't, because I can't see the Elevatex overlay myself without going into the stream. Yeah, ETA. So at the top of top right of the overlay. I've just logged in to have a little look myself. Distance to go 170 nautical miles. That's quite a neat overlay, isn't it? Actually, I'm just having a little look at it. Has ETE been on the entire time at 21 minutes? Oh no, it's counting down, isn't it? Before descent. So that's telling you how much time I think till top of descent. 21 minutes. Not bad. Some good landscape coming in. Hello, Mrs. Crawley. So we're effectively going into Paro then a little bit blind because we don't know what the weather is doing, because in real life it's all closed, so there's no METAR. So we're just going to have to kind of take the old METAR and draw assumptions that the weather's going to be probably around about what it was before when the airport closed. Was it easy to get to, Brian, from, I suppose you did like whatever airport across into Amsterdam Schiphol and then train to Lelystad? I'm not sure. It's all quite close, isn't it, to Amsterdam, really? Although Amsterdam's huge, I think. Oh, Wesley, I did put it on the channel yesterday in the Discord that we were going to be doing it. So there's been 18 hours notice. I'm guessing nobody in the US or Canada watching has then heard of Rogue or Rep, those fitness companies that I popped on the screen earlier. Lamont Bags, welcome. Cheers to subscribe, mate. Hope you're having a good weekend. Car hire, I thought of doing that myself. It'd be a cool bike tour. We need to ride across via the ferry, I suppose, but I don't know if that would be. That's probably more expensive than just going by plane. Can't see nobody over there. I don't know if you can tell, my voice is rather husky these days at the moment. Been doing a lot of shouting over the last week, so I've got a bit of a deeper, raspy voice. Person lingering on my TCAS is Indigo 67464 off to Mumbai. For that image from Canadian Flight Simmer on Elevatex. You just stop tracking that a second. What have we got here? Druk 115's on his way in. Good luck to you, matey. Vets, and we've got a Canadian Flight Simmer's doing the. Oh, he's doing the Arnav Zulu going around the mountains, so he's doing this one instead. Charts. He's doing that one to kind of feed you off into this channel over the bridge of a mountain and then into the valley. But be careful with that, Canadian Flight Simmer. It's taking you to Papa Romeo 808. Which is actually a bit above the airfield elevation, so your altitude is going to be slightly different. So Papa Romeo 816, as you cross that edge of the mountain there, realistically you probably want to get rid of the autopilot at that point. I mean, that in itself is a 3.5 degree descent. You probably want 3.8 degrees to get down to the runway. Whatever that is there. It's like maths. Whatever that is, that's the difference, he says. We're going to do this one. We should approach. Although the low visibility worries me. Good luck, let us know how you get on with the approach. Wind 1204, 15 degrees Celsius, 13 degrees dew point, visibility 6,000 metres, Fets, crikey. Very hazy, oh dear. We're going to use terrain radar, I think. Guido, hello. Happens too often though, train issues in Amsterdam. Interesting. You haven't by any chance been in Malton in Marsh, Luke, last week? No. I've been down in Kent, near the coast. Yeah, 3.5 degree descent on the charts that's mapped in is designed to bring you a little bit too high. So even the one we're doing, if we were landing on 3.3, which is what it's actually originally designed to do, look how high you are in comparison. The INAV X-ray, same. INAV Zulu, same. So they're all designed to bring you in a little high, because it's down to you to hand fly the last bit effectively, so it brings you high intentionally. It's a little bit of a tricky one. £1,800 for a car for a week in Norway, Brian, my goodness. Maybe I won't go there anytime soon. That's well expensive. How do you find driving abroad? Because I'd be quite anxious about it. Weirdly, I'm comfortable driving in the States. Mostly. Although I find their standard of driving pretty wild in comparison. But I get by there. I kind of I get on with it there. But then once I start thinking about driving somewhere in Greece or somewhere like that, I'm thinking like, oh, definitely not. Hell no. When's FS weekend next year? It's March, isn't it? I think typically from memory it's the first weekend, isn't it, of March, so let's see. March 20th to 22nd. Oh, cheers, mate. Better change those dates in my little checker then. What have we got? 20th to 22nd. Oops, wrong button. There we go. 20th. Does much happen on the Friday? And is it an all-day thing, or is it sort of like a bit of a gash day? Look at that, BA to Amsterdam, 56 quid in economy. From, that's very early in the morning for a flight. £67. Okay, so that's the evening then, basically. Friday evening is basically when you want to get there for. Did you do that, Brian? How was it? Hosted by Airsoft's a bit awkward though. Right, 16,000. Let's set this early. Let's go. Managed to send. Monday. Maybe Sunday night. Let's have a little look. Just checking some prices for stuff. I suppose Sunday's a bit of a half day as well, isn't it? And then people filter out and it all phases away. Just throw. £96. That much more expensive for business. It's like 70 quid more for business. I don't know, because Economy Plus is £112. One handbag, one cabin bag. £300. Not bad. Sudiv. That's going to be manual flight. 60 miles till we're going hands on. What, literally just giving it away? That'd be amazing. Imagine paying like 300 quid for flights, maybe 100 and something quid for a hotel, and then walking away with something that was also worth about 500 quid. You basically had an entire experience for the price of one bit of hardware. That'd be cool. Very cool indeed. Let's have a look at our descent planning. So estimated landing weight is going to be 61 tons. We'll call it 61. It's giving us that anyway. It's fun approach 132, landing speed of 127. Got a couple of fixed rings in. They won't show just yet, he says. There's the mountains, there's the cloud. Don't think. The Fenix has a weather radar, does it? So we'll just smack terrain on, because that's more important at the moment. We'll wind that in a bit. Bog ops coming up, so I need to get my charts out. Get your charts out. Bog ops there. Papa Romeo 786 has a speed constraint. No, hold on, that's different. Papa Romeo 777 speed constraint 185. Got quite a bit of deceleration going ahead of us. 16,000 for there. This is where the pressure's on now. I've got 1 Alpha, Arnav Yankee, runway 15. We're basically flying into some minimal minimal VFR conditions, apparently. How much was the meal hosted by Airsoft, Brian? The captain's dinner, whatever it's called. So, I mean, I'd imagine that's part of the kind of one of the ticket prices, right? I'd love that swim climb. They make some brilliant stuff. Very excited there for their yoke. Fingers crossed, Zato. Don't come in too close to me though. Do you remember what the meal was? Out of curiosity, Brian. And here comes a little bit of wobbly VNAV. More drag. Fair enough. I shall give you more drag. By means of speed brake. Hopefully you're all excited for this. It's going to be carnage. The drinks were good then, Brian, yeah? I think you can taxi off, Andrew, to be fair. Depends if the nose wheel collapses. Depends what happens. Okie dokie, there's the valley. That's a lot of that's a lot of cloud. Second go around, Fets, my goodness. We're on our way in. Zata, you're very close to me, mate. I think you're literally 5 miles behind me. You might need to do a little orbit. Oh, we want auto brake low. We'll follow the real flight. We need to keep GPWS on for now until we start to turn in that valley like the video, at which point we'll then need to look up and do the first officer's roll, turn terrain system off. Oh, Jesus. I feel the stress already. Sato's up the chuff somewhere. Gloving up. Gloving up ready for the old GP's test. Oh, fair enough, Sata. Good. Right, let's pause the music. My goodness. Still descending with speed brake. This is already steep. Clear. Cheers, Trevor. Thank you, Brian. Pick it up afterwards. I was hoping to go last year, or didn't know this year, but just didn't materialise. Had way too much going on. it's somewhat difficult to plan that far in advance as well, wasn't it? Oh, jeez, what's the QNH we were running with? 1011. 1011. 10. Because that linked that time. Radio. Where's my charts? Good effort, Badger. Well done, mate. I've got the wrong charts up. I've got the ones that the other guys were doing. Jeepers. Okay, here we go. There's my charts. So minimum, we'll go down to 11. 11? Yeah, 11, and then we'll hand fly. Lots of speed brake. There's the hook. This is where we end up with a dance. So what's our flap extension limitation speeds? 230 for flap 1. It's only just coming in now. So we can't extend speed brake fully because of alpha floor. And as we start to drop towards 220, I've got to close the speed brake a little bit. Now flaps 1. Increase drag. Still got to hit 185. Paro traffic, Bhutan 153 A319, QNH 1011, 16,000 at Papa Romeo, 777 inbound for the Arnavi Yankee onto the visual approach from weight 15 Paro. Gonna have to go flap 2 now, right at the edge of the limit speeds. Guido, thank you, buddy. Appreciate it. Thanks for this super chat. $185 is good.
Donated €6 through super chat. Best of luck with the landing.
So I'm going to set 185 for a moment. No fix rings. Jeepers Christ. 3-1. This is really bad time for this to happen. 5-1. More speed brake. 145 knots. I might go to 160 knots actually. This is very hazy. So I've got my extended centre line and all that kind of stuff in. With flap 2, that's helping with drag. Still descending with speed brake. Look at this. My goodness. First time doing this in Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024 as well. Very exciting. Let's get the landing lights on. All the lights and signs. I'm struggling to slow down.
Paro traffic, Osprey 950 is clear of runway 15. Bravo. Holy man, never want to do that again.
11,000's coming up. Autopilot off. Hand flying the thing now, the whole way in. Let's do it. Make use of the flight director initially, and then we'll go to the bird. 180, still speed coming down. Terrain's red on the right. Speed brakes away. Speed brakes armed.
Pacific, yes, final runway 15 for
It goes in that way, doesn't it? Oh my goodness, Paro's in that. In that haze.
Terrain ahead. Pull up.
Okay, heading track FPA. Flight director off. Power traffic, Royal Bhutan 153's in the valley on approach for 33. We'll route north and circle back for an approach on 15.
Terrain ahead. Pull up. Terrain ahead. Pull up. Terrain ahead. Pull up.
Approaching minimums.
Terrain ahead.
Approach mode's
Pull
active.
up. Terrain ahead. Pull up. Terrain ahead. Pull up.
It's Old Star.
Terrain ahead. Pull up.
Keep
Terrain
on for
ahead.
a little bit longer.
Pull up.
There's the airfield. You can see how high the RNAV approach brings you. As we go over the airfield, we'll
yes, come on, 5.5 runway for short transiting Pacific.
Yeah, lucky they do when in the little bit coming up. We went through that in the brief on the way in. Let's go get down now. Keep the altitude coming down just a smidge. That'll help bring the speed down. 150. It'll fly past. Give the guys a show. Let's go full flap now over the field. Starting is down 3 green. That'll be cabin secure from the crew. Punch it. We're runway 15, Andrew, yeah. Okay, so we're going to come in, follow the map. On our Yankee.
Pacific, yes, for 115, proceeding only 15. God damn, I will lose a lot of break for that.
Very hazy. Maximum concentration. Barrow traffic, Royal Bhutan 153's north of the field in the valley and turning final runway 15 vision approach to land. I'm just going to pop the APU on, I think. Managed. Okay, hard. 30 degrees.
Speed. Don't sink. Speed. Don't
struggling.
Sink.
Come on, plane.
Don't sink.
Power, power, power.
Speed. Don't sink. Don't sink.
Oh, he doesn't like this.
Don't sink.
There's something wrong with the flight dynamics
Don't
here.
sink.
My controls.
Don't sink.
Auto throttle off.
Don't sink.
Auto throttle cannot cope in the Phoenix with this.
Don't sink. Don't sink. Don't sink. Don't sink.
Okay, there's the little temple. There's the river below. There's the airport, the runway. You ready for this?
500.
30 degrees. Yeah, it can't do it, folks. It just doesn't have the ability. I've got to go toga to hold it, otherwise the whole thing just falls out the sky. The flight physics in this are bloody awful for Paro. It did this last time, didn't it? No. Can't do it. Turn around. It cannot cope, flight dynamic wise, with this approach. Full flap. Go around flaps. Full flap, flying then, at managed speed, it just wants to fall out the sky. At 30 degrees. It wants to drop like a brick. Put APU bleed on. I reckon I've got enough space here for a full turn, he says. Yeah, Zato, I'm going to turn in the valley here, matey. Max rate turn. Speed up a bit. Hand flying the auto throttle as well. Can't see a chuffing thing here. Where's the ground? Terrain map. It's inhibited because I've turned it off, of course it is. Yeah, there's the runway. Power traffic, Bhutan 153's coming in for a second approach back towards the fields to head north. Circling. Coming a bit higher this time. Gear down. Flight director off. Back FPA. Full flap. We'll try flap 3 for a bit then, Matthew, but then they do it with full flap in the jet on the video we've studied. But it's like once you go to 30 degrees angular bank, it just, and you're configured for landing, it just wants to drop like a brick. And the auto throttle cannot keep up with the turn. Let's go a couple of knots above. Paratraffic, Bhutan 153 is going to be turning final north of the field in the valley shortly, runway 15 to land.
Copy.
Flap 3 I feel is a bit better. I don't know how they do it in the real jet flap 4 though, full flap. Rufus, we're following the real flight. If that makes sense.
Probably we just cross a couple of yards here and we'll flying the power effort.
Set 152. I mean, I'm at 90% M1 here. Here's the radius, fully right, aggressive turn. Try not to climb, but I need about 9 odd thousand. That's good, so just let that come down. Trusting the decision to make the turn there. The winds are very variable, look, as well, and they're kind of shoving us around in this valley. Royal Bhutan 153's final approach visual to runway 15, Paro.
1000.
God, flap 3 is fast. Here we go. More of an intense rate of descent here. Gears down 3 green, landing memos no blue. Bit better, 8,000 about here, good. Oops, a bit too much keen on the pitch. Wind's shoving us a bit. Now got 5 knot headwind. Let's drop right down.
500.
Okay, there's the runway, straight towards power. Come on, CFMs. Choppy, 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 choppy. Over the field. Hard right. Jeepers Christ, imagine doing this in real life. Bit high.
100. 50, 40, 30.
Oh hey, bit of a crosswind, 20 knots all of a sudden. What the heck?
Drive.
I'm committing. Max manual brakes. I've got no reversers. Yeah, no reverse. The heck? Cooking the brakes. Jesus Christ. That was horrendous.
Traffic, Druk, you're about to initiate a final stage towards 15. Traffic.
Paratraffic, Royal Bhutan 153's vacating 15. I don't know how they do that with full flap. Unless maybe it's just the way this thing handles. I don't know what happened with reversers. So if I click them now, it's like the calibration's disappeared. I bet we're going to be absolutely smashed to bits on New Sky for the score, but hey ho. Ground spoilers disarmed, flaps to 0, that's all good. Yeah, auto brake low, still on. There's some weird bugs with this then. Should have used the Flubber Warrior 321X, which is precisely what I said last time. Anyway, welcome to IronSim's PARO.
Traffic, shot bound, 1555.
Trevor, nice. Here he comes. My goodness, that's fast. That's fast. Oh, VATSIM's being a bit quirky. Probably 5x5. He's down.
You operate 558, we're currently on the valley, we will call field inside.
That looked very good, to be fair. Done like a pro. Brake temperatures haven't gone up. Bear in mind, I literally slammed the brakes on the entire way down that runway maximum, as hard as I could push. And they're not even cooked. Whereabouts are you, Zato? Got no parking, so we're just going to have a little look. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's interesting. Matthew says if you so much as look at the brakes when landing a heavy A321, they'll reach 400 degrees Celsius. It's a shame the A321neo can't do this, because I'd be very interested to see what FS Labs would handle like coming in here. Because the Flyby A321X can do it fairly nicely. Brakes. Oh look, there we go. We got heat soak. There we go, that's better. There's a very delayed reaction there then. It should still be hot. Let's reset that rudder trim like a good boy. I'll turn that off so people can. Yeah, they are way too slow because I mashed them as hard as I could. So basically slid down the runway. I'd imagine there'd been smoky tyres and all sorts, but apparently not so. Box cones. Boink. Deep order. Let's see what punishment we have from New Sky. It's probably going to be a 3 out of 10 after that. 7.38. Oof. That's a bad landing. Oh well, nothing stable into Paro in fairness. Ooh, where have we gone? Ta-da! There we are. Let's have a little look at Elevatex. Where is he's there? Oh, he's literally about to buzz over us then. Gotta be in the cloud. Not gonna. Bloody thing. Yeah, we need the big Fenix update because the more this drags on, it's actually a really frustrating package, comparable to what some other versions can do, like the Flyby A321X. Can't see you yet, Zardo. Where be ye? Ah, he's still working through the valley. And there somewhere. So this is IronSim's version of Paro. It's a little bit different to the one that's included in the default sim. I mean, up close those are quite kind of blurry textures, but actually, I don't think the one in the sim has got that much detail in it. I do wish they put tarmac on the car park. It's a small airport, so there's not really any excuse. Little fountain. Little helipad, nice. You know what we could do? Here he comes. Where's that bird's eye view? Here it is. There's Zato in the MD-11. This is included in the scenery. Project Downtack. Are you landing on 3-3, Zato? Yeah, this is a Payware airport, Brian. I need to see how much it costs, actually. I forgot how much it costs. I'll have a look in a second, otherwise I'll miss Zato's fly past. Good luck at you touching down in that.
Power traffic on 558 overhead field. We're going to be circling around for the visual 15.
It's €16. It's about, what, 13 quid? Jeepers, look at that. 12 quid, there we go. What have we got? Let's see what this vantage point has to offer then, shall we? That'd be quite cool. Look at this. While he just goes off there, look, here's part of the river. I'm not convinced that bit's meant to be there, but I might be wrong. I think that should be down there. They should have exclusionary zones and stuff. There's a little bit of sloppiness, to be fair, with the scenery. If they're charging, was it 12 quid? It's quite expensive for a very small airport with not particularly high quality textures. Nice little football field and stuff. Yeah, little things like that need to be fixed, really. That's not acceptable. Like the exclusion zones on the textures. Runway textures are very good though, the taxiways are very good.
Power traffic, Osprey 558, turning final, runway 15, visual approach.
Nice little gate. I think they could tarmac the entire thing and model the entire airport, do you know what I mean? To get everything looking very nice and high quality. From here, look how great that looks from here. As a kind of overview landscape. Good luck, Zato.
No pressure.
Waiting for this massive Lufthansa MD-11 to pop out of the sky. Jeepers, here he comes. Uh-oh. Trimming the trees as he goes. And he's down. A little bit of grass cutting on the way. Is he going to stop? I reckon so. Oh yeah. Stopped quicker than the A319 did. Good effort. Yeah, some of these textures could be a little bit higher quality, I think. But the runway's the like the main kind of piece, and that's quite nicely done. I think because this bit here is so important, I think really they need to not necessarily terraform it, but that bit of road needs to be part of the scenery. I think they need to model that in, because you're kind of taking your reference on your position in this bit of road for that final turn. It's really tricky when you've just got a kind of like a blurry sweeping line there. So like this bit here, I think should be part of the scenery. The hill they've terraformed, but that needs to be a bit sharper. Like the comments said, a little bit more of an angle to it, rather than it be that smooth. I suppose I've tried to kind of model some of that before. It's pretty difficult.
Your crew has been boarded.
Little bridge. I mean, they put a bridge in there, but then they haven't done the road, so just put the road in. Or is it just me? I don't know. It's okay. It's not mind-blowing, is it? For £12, I think I would expect a little bit more polish on it, and maybe some better. I can get a better kind of a bit of polish and some improved graphics. I think, and then I think at that price point, this would be quite nice, because from an overview here, that looks pretty decent from here, doesn't it? It's when you look more closely at it, and certainly when you're flying the approaches, you need to be able to spot certain things. So. Yeah, I've uninstalled the default one, Brian. So that's gone. Disabled. It's not too bad. Pardon, Zardo. So there we go.
Thank you, and I'll collect those new
Bangkok
Bundies at the terminal.
To Paro in the Fenix A319. Still a lot of work to be done, I think, on the way that handles in, albeit very specific circumstances, but you don't see the aeroplane handling like that. When you saw the video we played earlier on of the Druk A319 flying into Paro on the exact approach that we've just done, circling in the valley to the north of the field, at kind of 30-degree angular bank, fully configured for landing, flat 4. It doesn't want to fall out of the sky like a brick on that video, but this one seems to have done that. It's a little bit disappointing, and I remember it stuffed us up last time as well, flying in with, I think, the Fenix A320, but hopefully the big Fenix update will fix that. We shall wait and see. Thank you very much for watching. In the meantime, as always, enjoy the rest of the weekend. You can find this scenery on, I think, Builds, Orbex and Sim Market if you want to get your hands on it. And I hope you've enjoyed it. Thank you for flying along. And those of you who actually did fly along, thank you for flying along. But enjoy the rest of the weekend, and I'll see you next time. Take care. Thanks for watching.